1991, it was a good year for this, and whatever this is. But was it a good year for music? Well, that's what we're gonna find out in this video. How? By rating all of 1991's #1 songs out of 10. Except it's not really out of 10, it's a scale of 10 to -10, and that's made up of two scales of 5 to -5. That might sound complicated, but the other years that I've covered, the first #1 of the year has sort of set the tone for the year. So let's see what 1991 has in store with the first #1. Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter by Iron Maiden. I'm not really that familiar with Iron Maiden. I know about 3 songs, so I'm a bit of an Iron Maiden maiden. But this sounds exactly how I imagine a band called Iron Maiden would sound. It's heavy, big metal guitars, big metal vocals, big metal everything. And ignoring the song for just a moment, the fact that a song called Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter made it to #1 is amazing. I'm gonna give it a 5 for that straight away. And it stayed at #1 for 2 weeks as well. So it was a good job, people. Great way to start the year. I was trying to figure out how this song made it to #1. I couldn't really figure it out. I saw on Wikipedia that the BBC basically bans this song. If you look throughout history, there's a high correlation of songs being banned by the BBC going to #1. I mean, look at these songs that have been banned by the BBC. They only ban bangers. I'll know I'll have made it when I get banned by the BBC. But in this case, whilst this song does bang, it's not a banger. I don't love it, I'll be honest. I do think it's quite funny how over the top it is in some parts, but I just think it's a bit naff. So I'm scoring the song a -2 for a total score of Bring Your Daughter 3 The Slaughter. Even though it got to #1, I get the feeling that it's probably not one of their better songs. So any IM fans out there want to recommend me some, please do, I'm all ears. There's potentially room on my shelf for Iron Maiden there, but probably no room for whatever album Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter is on. Next #1, Sadeness Part 1, Sadeness Part 1, I don't know, it's German, by Enigma. The title of this song rang no bells in my head, but as soon as I hit play, I recognised it immediately. I knew that it was used in a film, but I couldn't think what. Then all 5 of my brain cells started working overtime to try and figure it out. I did figure it out, but I'm down to 4 brain cells now, but it was worth it because the film is Tropic Thunder, one of my favourites. It's in the trailers at the fake films at the start. It's the Oscar bait Monk Forbidden Love story with Tobey Maguire. And that immediately endeared me to this song. The song's full of Gregorian Latin chants, which is cool for a #1 song. It's a bit Dan Brownie, but I'll forgive that. There's a bit of French singing in there, which is a little bit Je t'aime moi non plus style, except way less filthy. Apart from like 2 seconds of heavy breathing, which means there's no English singing at all, so it's a foreign language song. The people of 1991 were very cultured, making a continental song go to #1. If that was you, then good for you. I'm giving this another 5 for reaching #1. Then the song itself is very vibey. I do like it. It sounds like that song from The Matrix. I don't know what it's called, but if you've seen The Matrix, it sounds like the song from The Matrix. You know, the song from The Matrix. I've only seen The Matrix once. It's good, but it's no Tropic Thunder, but I do remember the song. The only thing I don't like about this song is there's this weird synthy pan flute that plays throughout that's a bit annoying. Imagine if Crazy Frog was a synth pan flute instead of a frog, and that's pretty much how it sounds. But despite that, I'm still gonna score the song a 2 for a final score of 7 out of 10 for Sadness/Sadeness. So hopefully Enigma, whatever they're up to these days, they'll no longer be feeling any saddiness. Next #1, Innuendo by Queen. When I was a young boy, I mainly listened to the CDs that my parents had in the car because we didn't get a car with an aux cable until about 2013. I know, what a deprived life I've lived. I'm basically Oliver Twist. Please, Mum and Dad, can we get a car that's not 20 years old? The designated car CDs were all the greatest hits albums, and the 2 that I requested to be played most were Queen Greatest Hits and Queen Greatest Hits 2. So I've always been very familiar with Queen. But Innuendo was on Queen Greatest Hits 2, and our copy of Queen Greatest Hits 2 had a scratch on it. So it would only play the first 5 or 6 songs of Queen Greatest Hits 2. So I never heard Innuendo while listening to Queen Greatest Hits 2. The first time I heard it was when I went to see the We Will Rock You musical in like 2012, where it's the first song. And I remember thinking, ooh, is this a Queen song? It's dark and heavy and made up of different parts. Ooh, that new Muse album, The Second Law's coming out soon. I hope it's not terrible. Innuendo is overblown, maximalist, dramatic. It's got multiple parts. It's got the hard rock part. It's got the flamenco part. It's got the opera part, and then it goes back into the hard rock part. I respect the ambition. I like all the parts by themselves, but putting them all together does seem a bit excessive, even for Queen and Freddie Mercury. I'm pretty sure the Bohemian Rhapsody was just 3 songs that they couldn't finish, that they stuck together. I don't know if Innuendo was that too, but the parts of Bohemian Rhapsody all flow together a lot more seamlessly than they do here. And yeah, I know it's harsh comparing any song to Bohemian Rhapsody. It's like comparing any singer to Freddie Mercury or any supermodel to me. If Innuendo was just the hard rock part, which makes my parts go hard as a rock, kind of an innuendo there, I'd give it a 5. I still like it, so I'm gonna give it a 3. It doesn't quite earn its 4-part, 6-minute runtime. I think it earns 3 parts and maybe 4.5 minutes. And that being said, because it is 6 minutes and made up of 4 parts, I do love that it got to number 1. I'm gonna have to score it another 5 there, for a total score of 8 out of 10 for Innuendo. Next number 1 was 3 AM Eternal by KLF. I feel like I need to be on drugs in a club in the 1990s to truly appreciate this song. But even just listening to it on paracetamol, in my room, in the 2020s, I still enjoy it. I've also tried listening to it on caffeine in a car park, still enjoyed it, and on alcohol by a river, still enjoyed it. And if I ever listen to it on any other substances in any other locations, I will let you know. It's nothing like anything I'd ever really listen to. It's quite housey, very energetic. I'm not sure my usual dancing style of the goth kids from South Park would be appropriate while listening to this. The lyrics are weird. The stuff about time being eternal, I can handle. The stuff about the ancients of Moo, not sure I can handle it. Although a song like this is more about the vibes than the lyrics, and the vibes are great. Great song, great choice to make this number 1. I'm gonna score it a pair of 4s. So while 3 AM is eternal, it's also an 8 out of 10 song. Next number 1, Do the Bartman by The Simpsons. Now, I'll preface this by saying I love The Simpsons. It's one of my top 3 favourite shows ever. The Simpsons, Arrested Development and The UK Office. Top tier, top tier. So whilst I love that this got to number 1, I don't love the song. I think it's pretty poor. Even Michael Jackson, being a secret co-writer, couldn't save this song. In terms of Simpsons songs, this has got nothing on Can I Borrow a Feeling, any song from Stop, The Planet of the Apes, I Want to Get Off, the musical. And I had a CD of The Simpsons Sing the Blues back in the day, which is the album that this came from. And to be honest, the songs aren't great. There's one song that I like on there, Look at All These Idiots by Mr. Burns, featuring Mr. Smithers. Love that song, big tune. Still listen to that sometimes now. It holds up, great solo from Smithers. Do the Bartman is not absolutely awful, it's pretty awful. I actively dislike it. My love of The Simpsons can't save it. I'm gonna give it a -3. It just further proves my point that the only good Simpson musician is Jessica. 1991 was the end of season 2, start of season 3 of The Simpsons, just before the golden era, in my opinion. But I guess that just shows that we love The Simpsons from day 1. So for reaching number 1, I'm gonna give it a 5. Some awarding to the Bartman. Next number 1, Should I Stay or Should I Go by The Clash. Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go? Are you a little lost? What are you doing here being a number 1 in 1991? I wasn't 100% sure what year this song came out. I thought it'd be like 1978 or something. It's 1981, I think. But I knew it wasn't 1991, so I thought, oh, Joe Strummer must have died in 1991. No, he was alive and kicking in 1991. No other Clash-related deaths happened in 1991, I don't think. I didn't check, but I don't think so. Well, it got to number 1 because it was featured in a Levi's TV advert, and I guess that just reminded everyone of the song. I watched the ad, it's pretty good, made me want to buy a pair of Levi's. I actually need a new pair of jeans, so if Levi's, you want to sponsor this video, you know, send me a new pair of jeans, because yours are 100 quid new. I'm not paying that. They could have chosen any song. They chosen Should I Stay or Should I Go? Good job, good job. I love Levi's, especially if they're about to send me some jeans. When it got released, the people in 1981 had their chance to make Should I Stay or Should I Go number 1 when it came out. And they said no. They listened to this song and they're like, this is rubbish. We want real music at number one, like Bucks Fizz and Shut Up At Your Face.
Shut up at your face. That's my mama.
10 years later, the good people of 1991 had another chance and they took it. Well done, people. Obviously, the song's a 5 out of 5. If it got to number one today, after being used in like an ad for TikTok or vaping or whatever people like these days, I definitely would not score it a 5. But Levi's, you know, a quality product. The sponsorship offer's there. I'll offer them the naming rights to 2 of my channel's killer segments. One is my list of enemies of the channel. I forgot to add one in the last video, so I'll add it now. Gary Barlow, enemy of the channel. Or as I can say if you sponsor me, Gary Barlow is a Levi's enemy of the channel. Or the other option is anytime I say some cheap innuendo, I can say, this cheap innuendo was brought to you by Levi's. So just let me know, Levi's. I'm not paying 100 quid for some jeans, come on. Next number one is The Stonk by Hale and Pace and the Stonkers. This is a charity song. It's raising money for comic relief, so I can't hate it too much. But it's a pretty terrible song, so I can hate it a little bit. Maybe if I was around in 1991, I might have liked this. I would have known who Hale and Pace are, but I wasn't, so I don't, so I didn't. It's got some big names in it, I think. I can only find really low quality videos of it on YouTube. I think Bryan May's in it, but I can't say for sure. That could be anyone there. That could be, I don't know, Nelson Mandela or someone. The song's a bit nothingy. I'd say it falls just on the annoying side of nothingy. The part of the song I did like is there's a bit in the middle where it's got a load of famous quotes with stonk thrown in. You know, Ich bin ein Stonker, one giant stonk for mankind. How much Lego can you stuff up your stonk? That pushed my rating of this song from a -2 to a -1. And then reaching number one is for charity. Come on, people, I can't hate that too much. The people of 1991 must have been very generous. It must have been a time of plenty if they had the money to spend on making this a number one. So I'll give it a 1 for a total score of 0 for the stonk. Talk about stonks. And next number one, The One and Only by Chesney Hawks. I wasn't alive in 1991 when The One and Only came out, but I was alive in like 2005 or something when The One and Only was used in a sofa commercial. I think DFS used it. Someone like that trying to flog cheap sofas. Very classy. But to be fair to Chesney, after about 20 years, I have remembered the song. The chorus is catchy, I guess. I'll give you that, Nick Kershaw, who wrote it. And Chesney does sing with a nice home counties accent. Nice to have some representation there, thanks for that. But everything else about the song is pretty terrible. I'm gonna score it a -2. Then for it reaching number one, it's not like I Wish I Was a Punk Rocker with Flowers in My Hair or America by Razorlight, where it's, because it was so bad, I quite liked that it reached number one. This one is not bad enough for that. I just don't like that it reached number one. For 5 weeks as well. If it was just 1 week, one and done, I'd be like, okay, we've all had our fun, let's go home. But that didn't happen. Maybe in 1991, people were a bit upset after getting home from the cinema, having just seen Silence of the Lambs, and they wanted to listen to something more breezy. But that's no excuse, because Silence of the Lambs is a great film. The only thing you should do after watching that is to watch it again. So I'm giving it a -3 for that. I'm renaming the song the -5 and Only, which is what Chesney now has to call it whenever he plays it, if he's playing at Butlins or whatever he's doing these days. Anyway, here's Smells Like Teen Spirit. I feel like you can't talk about the music of 1991 and not mention Nirvana and Nevermind. Smells Like Teen Spirit got released as a single at this point in 1991. And even though it's probably my 5th favourite song on Nevermind, it's still a 10 out of 10 all-time classic, which is what I would have scored it if it reached number one, but it didn't. I'm just talking about it now because I've put Nevermind in the thumbnail of this video. So by talking about it, you officially cannot call this video clickbait. Ha, done ya. But now let's see who did reach number one and held off Nirvana. If you wanna know if he loves you so, it's in his kiss. You just can't deny the power of Cher. And to be fair, if something was gonna keep Smells Like Teen Spirit off number one, I'm not mad that it was this. I may be an evil, hate-filled man, but even my heart of ice starts to defrost a little bit when I'm listening to Shoop Shoop song. It was released as part of a film that Cher was in called Mermaids. Never seen it, never heard of it, But if it's got a song as good as this in it, I'm adding it to the list. A Shoop Shoop is a cover of a Bessie Everett song. The two versions are pretty similar. The original is a lot more stripped back than Cher's version. Cher's just a bit of a maximalist. She loves chucking everything on there. I can't deny that I really enjoyed this song. Cher is just all powerful. If you told me there was a film called Mermaids with Cher as the star and it had a song called Shoop Shoop, this is about as good as I think it could be. So I'm gonna give it a 4. You can't stop me. Then as a number 1, I'll be honest, I would have preferred Smells Like Teen Spirit. That's what I'd have chosen if I was alive in 1991. Shoop Shoop was number 1 for 5 weeks. Cher could have given 1 week to Nirvana. But I really don't hate that it was number 1. So I'm gonna give it a 3 for a total of 7 out of 10. Next number 1, I Wanna Sex You Up by Colour Me Bad. I wanna sex you up. For a song with this title, it's actually pretty tame. It's also quite bad. They did colour this song very bad. Well done, John Colour. What's up with the singing in the verses? It sounds exactly like a parody of a song like this. Maybe this is where all the parodies got their inspiration from. So it's a pretty terrible song. I'm gonna score it a -4. But I do quite like that we made a song with the title This on the Nose, or on the crotch, or on the crack, or wherever on the body. Number 1. That's cool. That's cool. People weren't prudish in 1991. They were up for anything. So I'll give it a 1 for a total score of -3 out of 10. And next number 1, Any Dream Will Do by Jason Donovan. Any dream will do. This is from the soundtrack album of the West End production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I didn't even know that it was possible for a song from a West End musical to reach number 1. But it happened, so well done everyone. Colour me impressed. I guess they just loved a little trip to the theatre in 1991. You know, dinner and a show, it's a timeless tradition. I seem to remember doing a version of this at school. I got cast as like narrator number 3, something like that, which was a big step down from being cast as Joseph in the Nativity the year before. I must have done a terrible job. Bad news for my acting career back in like 2003, but look at me now. I think this song is decent, it's catchy. I love a musical, sue me. So a song from a musical reaching number 1 is something I'm very on board with, especially from a stage musical. Avenue Q's back in London, so let's make Everyone's a Little Bit Racist and number 1 in 2026. It can happen, we've got precedent for it. So I'm giving the song a 2, and I'm giving it a 3 for reaching number 1, for a total score of 5 out of 10. Next up, Everything I Do It For You by Bryan Adams. You might know this, but this song has the record for most consecutive weeks at number 1 in the UK ever. This is our longest serving number 1 song ever. That record still stands today. This, I mean, I love a power ballad, but why this? It is a decent song, but 16 weeks. 16 weeks. It's a third of the year. What the hell? I know it was in Robin Hood, but was it even that good or big a film that people were still going mad for the songs from it? Not as bad as 13 weeks of Shape of You or 2 weeks of Chico Time, but still not a good look. I'd say 16 weeks of almost any song is too much. I still think the song is decent, so I'm gonna score it a 2. If it was a 3 or 4 weeker, I think I'd give it another 2, but 16 weeks. 16 weeks. Did I say it was 16 weeks at number 1? I wanted to give it a -5, but I think that's a bit unnecessarily dramatic. It was used in Arrested Development. Like I said, it's one of my 3 favourite shows ever. Please don't do this. I do it for you. So I'm gonna be nice and give it a -2. Everything I do it for you. More like everything I do it 0 you. Am I right? Next number 1, The Fly by U2. I'd never gone that deep on U2, but I thought I knew all their big hits, like the biggest 20 songs, but I'd never heard The Fly, which must be one of their biggest songs because it made it to number 1. One of their 7 number 1s. 7 number 1s for U2, that's good going, that's impressive. Well done Bono, well done The Edge, well done the others. I saw it was on the same album as One and Ultraviolet, so I was expecting a song sort of in that vein. A bit ballady, a bit uplifting, a bit anthemic. So imagine my surprise when I hit play and I'm greeted with an industrial, abrasive version of How Soon Is Now. At least that's what I got in the verses, and I really like those. The chorus is just a bit limp, it just sort of dangles there flaccidly in the wind. Overall, I'm fairly neutral on the fly. I really don't like Bono's falsetto there. I like the verses more than I dislike the chorus, so I'm gonna give it a 1. And for being a number 1, even though out of the 20-ish U2 songs that I know, this is probably my least favourite. Getting something this industrial sound into number 1 is a good effort by the people of 1991. Well done, people. I'll give it a 3 for that, for a total score of 4 out of 10. If you're a U2 fan, a bit like Iron Maiden, give me a good album to start with, please. Next number 1 is Dizzy by Vic Reeves and the Wonder Stuff.
I'm so dizzy, my head is spinning.
First we had Hale and Pace, then we had Cher, now we have Vic Reeves. 1991, a great time for comedians reaching number 1. It's a bit of a gimmicky song this, but the gimmick is that like every 15 seconds there's a key change. And I love a key change, so I'm very on board. It's a cover of a cheesy 60s song, and they've managed to make it sound like a cheesy 90s cover of a cheesy 60s song. So well done, Vic. I'm gonna give this song a 1, and then I'm gonna award it another 0.000001 for every key change that happens. So it's ending up with a 2. I don't mind this being number 1. I think it's very funny being number 1 immediately after The Fly. This sounds almost the polar opposite of that. I'm gonna give it a 3 for being number 1, for a total score of 5 out of 10. The next number 1, Black or White by Michael Jackson. This song sounds way more like U2 than The Fly did, and it's decent. MJ has some all-time classic songs. This is not one of them, but it's still alright. I'll score this a pair of 2s, 4 out of 10. Next number 1, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me by George Michael and Elton John. It was written by Elton and Bernie, and in 1991 George Michael played it at some of his concerts. He recorded it and put it out. Elton John popped up for a little bit. That's the version of the song that I'm talking about now. The Elton John version is good, but the George Michael version really takes it to another level. It just sounds amazing, like it's the biggest song that's been ever made. I can't even speak properly, it's that big. Sometimes things are just so big, you can't speak properly.
Should I stay or should I go?
Imagine like the end of Born to Run, how big that is, how anthemic and joyous that is. Well, this is like that, but it starts like at that level, and then it just, yeah, it's good. I can't even speak about the song. Let's just give it a 5. Then for being a number 1, I was gonna give it a 4. It's George Michael and Elton John together at last. They said it would never happen. Whatever it was almost definitely gonna get to number 1. It was a banger, so fair play. Shows the great taste of the people of 1991. But Wikipedia said that the proceeds of this song went to charity, so I'm very happy to bump that 4 up to a 5. And award Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me a 10 out of 10. You just can't deny the power of the gays. They're great. Speaking of gays, sadly, this reaching number 1 marked Freddie Mercury's death. If you're a big enough musician, when you die, a load of your songs will enter the charts again. If you're really big, you'll get a number 1. Bowie had Heroes reach number 12. I mean, I'd have gone with Life on Mars, but whatever. My pal, Michael Jackson, had Man in the Mirror reach number 11, which, odd choice again. I'd have gone with Billie Jean, but whatever. Tom York will definitely haunt the earth as some kind of demon if Creep is Radiohead's highest charting song when he dies. So let's just all get prepared to go out and buy How to Disappear completely when that day finally comes. And for Freddie Mercury, I think it was very fitting that Bohemian Rhapsody made it back to number 1. Perfect choice. It's Bohemian Rhapsody. You know it, I know it, you know it. It's getting a 10. I'll go into more details of why it's a 10 out of 10 when I cover the year that it got to number 1 the first time. I think it's 75. I just shouldn't have to explain why I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I shouldn't have to explain why I'm putting it on the same level as great songs like No Tomorrow by Orson. And next number 1, the final one of the year, These Are the Days of Our Lives by Queen.
Those were the days of our lives.
Bohemian Rhapsody was re-released as a double A side with These Are the Days of Our Lives. A little bit cheeky, but given the circumstances, I'll allow it. If this was just a random song that they released in like 1980, I'd say a bit overly cheesy, but not too bad. 1 out of 5. But it being released when it is, it being written by Roger Taylor, looking back at his friendship with Freddie Mercury, I can overlook the cheesiness. I'll give it a 2. And then for reaching number 1, it's piggybacking off Bohemian Rhapsody, so I'm not giving it a full 5. but I will still give it a 4 because I think there's something nice about Queen's most over-the-top song and one of their most stripped-back songs being paired together, reaching #1. I quite like that. 6 out of 10. So there you have it. That was the final #1 of 1991. And now it's time to answer the question of the title of this video. Was 1991 the best year for music ever? Well, here's the current standings. And I can now reveal the final score of 1991 is a massive 4.5 out of 10. Wow. I think it's 4.5. I've messed with these scores while I've been recording this video, so I've had to run the calculations again. If it's not 4.5, it's very close to 4.5. But whatever it is, it sends 1991 right to the top of the leaderboard. So for now, it is the best year for music ever. And you know what? Looking at these scores, I'm starting to see a little bit of a trend emerge. That music is getting better as we're moving back. I wonder if that trend will continue. The next video I'm gonna do it'll be a year from the 80s. I think it's gonna be 1984 at the moment. You'll find out next month when that comes out. Here's how 1991's rankings have affected the artist leaderboard. The top 10 is a bit of a mess with artists who've had one 10 out of 10 song. But a new leader, Queen, 3 #1s, 3 bangers. Welcome to the top of the leaderboard. Bottom 10, still a bit of a mess. Not that much movement, but Ed Sheeran's still sitting pretty at the bottom on -16. Well done, Ed. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, I've done the same for 2006, 2017, and 2025. I have something from the 80s coming soon, something from the 70s shortly after that. If you didn't like this video, I've done every Radiohead song ranked worst to best, every Smith song ranked worst to best, every Killers song ranked worst to best. I'll have every Strokes song ranked to worst to best, the non-Hangover version coming out soon. I'll have every Muse song ranked worst to best, the non-first video version coming out very soon. I'll have every My Chemical Romance song ranked worst to best, the first version of that coming out sometime in summer. But until then, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye. Cheers.